ay, 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 ay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to all of you. Those of you are here in person, those of you are joining us from home. If you're at home, I encourage you to turn on your camera so we can welcome you and see your beautiful faces in this space. And I love seeing your beautiful faces here, even though you're masked, but to feel your presence, hear your voices is wonderful. So everybody that is here, welcome and Shabbat Shalom here in all the ways that we are here today. I invite you to light Shabbat candles. If you are home and you have your candles, please join me. If you're here, I invite you to come closer. I'm going to put my mask so you can join me in lighting the Shabbat candles together.
Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. Your presence fills creation. Oh, your presence fills creation. Holy One of blessing.
Holy One of blessing.
Oh, your presence fills creation. Your presence fills creation. Oh, your presence fills creation. We take 3 times from the light of the Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai
אלוהינו מלך העולם, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר, להדליק נר של Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I encourage those of you who are here to greet each other with Shabbat Shalom. Make sure that people are comfortable in the ways at home. Use the chat to greet everybody with Shabbat Shalom. And we begin our service with Yedid Nefesh. So on page 2, Lev will put the Siddur on the chat. Page 2, Yedid Nefesh.
ידיד נפש, הרחמן, בשוכבך
ארץ עונך, יהדות עבדך, the words that caught my heart, my mind, actually more my heart, my spirit during the singing of Yedid Nefesh, where Ta'ir Eretz Mikvodecha, it's in the last stanza, the second line, Ta'ir Eretz Mikvodecha, which we invite God, or we ask God to illuminate Eretz, the land, the planet, the world, with God's presence. And it was such a beautiful week this week, the weather-wise, with so much light. There was so much light, even though it was dark in the morning and dark in the evening. There was one morning I went to work out at 7 a.m. and it was dark. It was like working out in the middle of the night. But besides that, during the day, there was so much light. And it was warm and beautiful. And even on Tuesday that was cold, there was so much light. I don't know if you look at the clouds this week. They were beautiful, and the colors. And I am inviting all of us to think about this image of God illuminating the world with God's presence. And when the weather cooperates, we feel it a little bit more because we feel the warmth of the light. But even when it's a little cold and cloudy, God illuminates the world with God's presence. What this past week made you feel that God was illuminating your world, your life, your days? Is there a moment that you can think where you felt a little light in your life? Light, I meant light, not light, but could be both of them. You felt light coming to you, and maybe by being illuminating, you also felt a little lighter. God is holding you. So I invite you that to be our kavanah for this Kabbalat Shabbat as we go through the days of the week, which is our practice, to think about these days with a lot of light, and how does God brings light to your life. Page 3, Yom Rishon, Sunday. Take a moment to go back to last Sunday. Page 3.
Lechu neranena, L'Adonai, Nahariya, Letzurishenu, Nekad Mafana.
גדול אדוני ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים, אשר בידו מחברת וטרפת רימו, אשר לא היה Three lines from the bottom. 40 שנה הכות בדור באומר עם טועה לבבם והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי באפי הם יבואו אלינו
to go back to your Monday. Page 5.
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שיר חדש, שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שיר חדש, שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, כל הארץ, כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, כל הארץ, כל הארץ. איי איי איי. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, ברכו שמו, ברכו שמו. איי איי איי. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, ברכו שמו, ברכו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שיר חדש, שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שיר חדש, שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, כל הארץ, כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, כל הארץ, כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, ברכו שמו, ברכו שמו. איי איי איי. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, ברכו שמו, ברכו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שיר חדש, שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שיר חדש, שיר חדש. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, כל הארץ, כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, כל הארץ, כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, ברכו שמו, ברכו שמו. איי איי איי. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, ברכו שמו, ברכו.
יום שלישי, Tuesday. Take a moment to meditate on your Tuesday, something from last Tuesday that brought light, that you experienced some moments of gratitude, that God illuminated that moment for you. Page 6. Yom Revi, Wednesday. Page 8.
Zamru l'Adonai bechino bechino bekol zimra Zamru l'Adonai bechino Bechinor vekol zimra Zamru l'Adonai bechinor bechinor vekol zimra Zamru l'Adonai bechinor bechinor vekol zimra Zamru l'Adonai bechinor bechinor
Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor, bekol zimra. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bechinor, bekol zimra. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bekol zimra.
Zamru l'Adonai
You know, as many times I said during the pandemic, still we're in the pandemic, but when there were no people here, when we were people, just the two of us, or even when I was alone here, I would say that I have developed this superpower to hear all your voices, even though you are at home. And now I heard all your voices, and I'm sorry the people at home couldn't hear ours. They only can hear what is mic'd. They can't hear what is, but hearing all your voices felt like my superpower became truth, really. And I could hear all your voices blending together with the voices of all of you at home. So it felt, it got me very emotional, very beautiful to hear you all singing Zamru l'Adonai.
I feel like there's a new superpower.
There's a new superpower.
Which is, you know, I always give the kavanah, the drash, that it's not just that we're praising God with strings, right, like stringed instruments, but the sort of our heartstrings as well. So the next superpower is to be able to hear all of your heartstrings playing as well,
Amen.
right?
Beautiful.
To go one step deeper.
Beautiful. Oh, let's develop that one. And it's like I lost my count on days. I think we're moving to Yom Hamishi. That's
Hamishi.
Thursday. That was yesterday. Page 9, Romemu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu
Le'ar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'ar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu and Yom Shishi, Friday. It's today. It's the last moments of this week before bringing Shabbat in. Your gratitudes for today, your gratitudes for this week. If you're at home, share them in the chat. If you're here, articulate them in your heart. Anyone that is here want to say it out loud, something you're grateful for this week? Empathy. Beautiful. Empathy, says Jan. What is it? David says being able to ride the bike to work. Beautiful. Beverly says creativity. Beautiful.
Students' curiosity.
Noah says students' curiosity. Beautiful. Beverly was the artist director of our beautiful faith quilt. So to have Bev here in front of our faith quilt is always a blessing, and especially a blessing. So, page 10.
The last line.
Adonaios le'amo iten Adonai yevarech et amo Adonaios le'amo iten Adonai yevarech et amo Shalom. Page 12, Lecha Dodi. Welcome the Shabbat bride. The many faces of Shabbat, Bnei Shabbat, Kabbalat. And it is our custom to walk outside, to bring Shabbat in and to bring Shabbat out. So those of you who are here with us physically, you'll come with me out. We will take one of the computers outside, so those of you who are at home will come with us also outside and get all to bring Shabbat in, but as I always like to say, more than bringing it in, we need to bring it out to the world. Shabbat needs to be everywhere. Just bringing Shabbat to our world. Page 12. My superpower is such that I can hear Max playing the violin all the way from Canada. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela, lecha dodi,
תפארתך מי,
על יד
יד
בן
בן
ישי,
ישי,
בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
התעוררי,
התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי, שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה,
בני שבת
נקבלה.
לא תבושי
לא תבושי
ולא תקלמי,
ולא תקלמי, תשתוכחי ומתני, אוי בך יחסו עניי ימי, ואני נבנתה עיר אל תלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
והיו למשיסה
שוסייך ברכה כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהיך, כיסוס לב ואהבה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה,
בני שבת נקבלה.
אוי
ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תעריצי, על יד
איש
בן ברצי,
ואני שמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום, את ארץ בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, בני שבת נקבלה. יללה יא יא יא, יללה יא יא יא, יא 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 יא, יא 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 דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה פני שבת
נקבלה. Oh, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom. It's so good to be grateful.
Amen,
To
amen.
practice gratitude. Tov lehodot ladonai. Practicing gratitude at all times, especially when we don't feel like. It's very easy to practice gratitude on a good day. But practicing gratitude on a more challenging day, that's the work. Right? In that moment where like it feels like I don't know if I can get through this, I can do this, that's the moment to go back to that muscle of gratitude and say, okay, I'm grateful for this. And that's what Shabbat comes also to teach us, is Tov. Mizmor Shili Yom Shabbat. The Psalm of Shabbat starts saying, first thing, just say thank you. It is good to be grateful. Lehagid baboker chasdecha. In the morning, we see God's chesed, with God's compassion. And at night, we find our faith, our trust in God. So let's connect to that. Page 15.
טוב להודות
לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות.
Two lines from the bottom, עוד ינובון
עוד ינובון בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו. עוד ינובון בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו. להגיד בבוקר אדוני צורי ולא עבדת.
תבוא להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולה תבוא.
Page 16.
Three lines from the bottom.
מידותיך נהנו מאוד לביתך נאווה קודש.
אדוני לאורך ימים. אדוני לאורך ימים. אדוני לאורך ימים. אדוני לאורך ימים.
Page 18. It's Raza, the Shabbat. It's a vision of Shabbat here translated by Reb Zalman. It's a piece of the Zohar that talks about one of the secrets of what Shabbat is. And I am currently studying a shir of Zohar. And this was the text in Aramaic, not this translation, that we actually learned this week. It is a text that remind us about the interconnectedness between the people, us human beings in this part of the world, and God in the other parts of the world. And that the unifications that happen up there in the world are connected to the unifications that happen here. Meaning, in lay words, means that we have the capacity to influence what God becomes, and God has the capacity to influence what we are in the world. And that Shabbat gives us the gift to do that. That the Zod, the Raza, the Shabbat, the secret, the vision of Shabbat is the possibility of becoming one with ourselves and becoming one with God. That's one of the gifts of Shabbat. So on page 18, a vision of Shabbat, an insight into the profound meaning of being at one. Through the service of Kabbalat Shabbat, the throne of glory is prepared for the Holy One. With the arrival of Shabbat, the Shekhinah is liberated from all forces of evil and hard judgment, leaving her free from intimate union with the holy light, adorned with many crowns by the Holy One. All kingdoms of anger, all dominions of judgment, free from her presence. No alien power reigns in all the universe. No alien power reigns in all the worlds. She's bathed in light from on high, while receiving a crown of Shabbat prayers from earth. From us, the holy people, all of us adorned with fresh additional souls, which are ours on Shabbat. Then we begin Shabbat prayers, blessing her, joy and gladness on our faces, release from thoughts of severity and judgment, uttering Baruch Hu, praise Yah. As Shabbat blessings and peace begin to flow. We rise for Baruch Hu on page 19. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Ve'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech
Baruch atah Adonai
haolam.
Eloheinu melech haolam.
הוא מעביד יום ומביא לילה, הוא מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, עמד עבדיו. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, with everlasting love, yom love. We're on page 20. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם בלילה. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם בלילה. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם בלילה. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם בלילה. באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך שמו.
אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen.
Page 21. Shema. Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך, בכל נפשך, בכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. We continue silently, pages 22, 23. On page 24, there is also some interpretation of the Shema, Hebrew, English, or it can also be a time for your own meditation. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. ואמונה כל זאת וגיים עלינו, page 25. המעביר בניו בין גזעי ים סוף, רודפיהם שונאיהם ודמעותיהם והרעו בנה גבורתו. שבחו והודו לשמו מלכותו ורצון קיבלו עליהם מרים משה ובני ישראל. לחנו שירה ושמחה רבה ואמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוספת. מלכותך רוב בניך בוקם לפני משה, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי יפד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. page 26. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום בעמידנו מלכנו לחיים נפרס עלינו זולת שלום ay, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלום. ברוך אתה אדוני הבורא סוכת שלום עלינו, על כל עמו ישראל, על ירושלים ועל כל העולם. We rise for Veshamron, page 27. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. אוי לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני
ובין בני ישראל
אותי לעולם, כי ששת
ימים עשה אדוני
את השמיים ואת הארץ. טוב היום השביעי, שבת בי נפש. And our custom for the Amidah is, as we transition through Chatzi Kaddish, is to invite you to find a different place to stand, inspired by our faith quilts of Chesed, loving kindness on my right, and Gvura, strength, boundary on my left. Do you need more Chesed, loving kindness this year, this week, maybe this year, but this
Today.
week? Let's focus on just the next hour. What do you need the next hour? What do I know for the whole year? Or more Gvura, or is the balance of Tiferet, which is the middle, which the beautiful lights of Kabbalat Shabbat can do. And for those at home also, thank you, Lev, for opening, so everybody can see the faith quilts at home too. Find your inspiration for the silent Amidah of Shabbat, either the words of the traditional Amidah that begin on page 29, or the words of your heart. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותה, וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון וביומייכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו, יש מרב המברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמד קדושה, להאמין כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמידם בעלמא ואמרו,
אמן.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome again to all of you. Just to share a few thoughts, words, inspiration from this week parasha, Parshat Vayera, which we're in the midst of the stories of Abraham Avinu. It is in this parasha we encounter almost everything, from the announcements of the upcoming birth of Isaac, to the Akedat Yitzchak, to the binding of Isaac, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and so much more. It's a very intense parasha to look into it. And it begins with the visiting of three shlosha anashim, three people, three men, three angels, says our tradition, that come and visit Abraham and Sarah, and they are going to be the ones that will give the announcement that Sarah is going to be pregnant and Yitzchak will be born. But our midrash, our tradition, and actually in the Talmud in Masechet Sotah, they make from this visit something very powerful. This last week parasha ended with the circumcision, the Brit Milah of Ishmael and Avraham. Avraham circumcised his son Ishmael at the age of 13, and he also circumcised himself. And then after that happens, and he's an adult person. So after that happened, these three people, these three men come to visit. The Midrash imagines that visit as an act of visiting the sick, the mitzvah of Bikur Cholim, of God to Abraham. In Talmud Bavli, in the Tractate of Sotah, when we are taught how we can follow God's ways, God's path, to follow God's example, we're giving a list of acts that go from clothing the naked, caring for those in need, to burying the dead, and in between many other aspects, including visiting the sick. And for each of them, the Talmud tells us God did that for somebody. Clothing the naked, he did that, God did that for Adam. Visiting the sick, God did that for Abraham. And so our rabbis imagine God's self in the form of these three angels coming after Abraham was probably in a lot of pain, as we can imagine, to visit him. And that is becomes really at the center of this mitzvah of Bikur Cholim, of visiting the sick. And I think a lot about visiting the sick, and as part of my role as a rabbi, I get to visit a lot of people. I got to visit a few people this week, in the hospital or at home, the people that are sick. And our tradition teaches us that when we visit the sick, it's beautiful, we take 1/60th of the pain of the person who is sick. And we can talk about why 1/60th, but that's another story. But that by visiting someone who is sick, we take 1/60th of their pain. If they're in a lot of pain, a little bit of that pain is taken away from them. So if you get 60 people to visit that person, like, it's perfect, right? It's beautiful. And we know that that's not necessarily our visiting or our being visiting either physically or visiting symbolically by being present, by giving a phone call or sending a card or sending flowers, or by making sure that they know we are present for those that are in pain. We know that the pain doesn't necessarily end if we are in physical pain or emotional pain. But something does go, that something is healed by feeling the love and the care of others. All of us have been in that situation in one way or another, in a way that we have been in pain, that we have hurt, either by something specifically physical or something emotional and our soul. And when we feel the love and the caring for somebody else, from somebody else, it feels a little bit better. And what the rabbis do by telling us that this is God visiting the sick is telling us that when we visit someone, when we care for someone who is in need, we're actually acting a little bit like God, like angels. We are those angels visiting, and we have the power to take a little bit of that pain away from people. Now, it's been a really difficult year, the 19 months. And visiting and being there for people that have been sick has been harder. It's a time that we have not been able to accompany as many people in the hospitals or in their deathbed or in moments of difficulty, because we had to be more careful and keep distance, because this week I was in the hospital and they only allow 2 people per day for a person. So you have to make sure, and there's a lot of regulations. And we do that, and we know that it's been much more difficult. But still, this mitzvah of caring for those who are sick, Bikur Cholim, is upon us. And my invitation is for us to ask in which way we can still do it, even if we can't fully be there in somebody's home and hold their hands and bring their food. But in which ways we can fulfill this mitzvah. And when we fulfill this mitzvah, the reminder that actually that's an act of God. That's what we are doing. That we can actually bring God to somebody else's home, to somebody else's suffering, by being there for them. From a card that we write, from flowers we send, for a phone call we do, for a text we send, from a physical visiting of someone who is in pain. So I want to take this from this parsha for us this evening. An invitation for each of us to think about in which ways we are being there for others. And then the other way around, when we need that, how do we make sure to share it with our community so our community can be there for each of us? So I will put an advertisement for our Chesed committee. So we have a wonderful Chesed committee led by Amy Bullock, who really makes sure to care and find volunteers for anyone that needs something in need. People that need food, shopping to be made, or drive people to the hospital, or visit in any ways possible. But one thing, we can't help and we can't be there for people if we don't know that something is happening. So the plug is, let us know how can we be there for you, and also help us and volunteer to be there for others. because we are all of us a little bit of God. We can bring a little bit of God to everybody's home and hopefully take 1/60 of the pain of every human being. Imagine that. If we could take 1/60 of the pain, each of us take 1/60 of the pain, the world will be a little bit better, a little more healed, a little less pain. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And with that, let's pray for healing. We're going to pray for healing. And there's so many people we have to pray for healing in our community. If you're at home, add the names in the chat. If you're here, you can say them out loud. So we lift up the names of the people we want to pray for healing today. When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong.
We were all beautiful.
When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. I am praying for Abraham, Mordechai, and Aaron, Yechiel, Ve'ela. Say names. Can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong.
We were all beautiful.
When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. Ana elna, refana la. Ana elna, refana la. And we lift all the names that we're praying for healing, those who are being shared in the chat, those who we are saying here in our heart. I want to, I see that Lisa Lovett is joining us, so we definitely want to hold Lisa very close as she's in Chicago with her sister who is in transition from this world to the next and accompanying her closely. And Julie is here also after surgery and an accident. So a lot of healing for Lisa and Julie and their dear, dear family, sending you so much love. And now we should bless each other. So this is what we're going to do. Those of you who are here, you come here, but we are going to be looking in the camera, and I'm going to put my mask so you can come close. And those at home, put it on gallery view so you can bless each other. And we can, like this, do a circle looking into the camera. So those of us here can bless those there can bless us. Check with the people next to you if they're okay being touched physically, and if not, do it wirelessly.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Yair Adonai panav elecha ve'yichoneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom ve'yasem lecha shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom,
Oh,
shalom, shalom. Ve'yasem lecha shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom,
Oh, shalom,
shalom.
Oh,
Ve'yasem lecha shalom. Ve'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom. Blessing to all of you, to all of you. We remain standing as we say Aleinu, we sing Aleinu. You can go back to your places in the Siddur is on next page. Page 44. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל,
לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית,
שלא עשנו עמי ארצות, ולא שמנו משפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו עמהם, וגורלנו עם כל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
אחד.
You may be seated. We extend our condolences to Mark Hausman and Rabbi Mona Strick and their entire family on the death of Mark's sister, Jean Hausman. The funeral is going to be on Monday. We'll be sending more details about Shiva as soon as we have them. This week, we will commemorate the yahrzeit of Jonathan Abrahams, Ann Bornstein, Betty Buchler, Annie Bussis, Ida Darish, Gerald Eilberg, Jody Epstein, Louis Weiss Fox, Joseph Garlick, Shirley Jacobson, Ruth Katz, Boris Grukilak, Dora Miller, Eve Neyman, Isidore Norwich, Olga Polikov, Lita Ribner, Janet Sargon, Dina Sargon, Susan Schacht, Patrice Polikov-Schulman, Lena Spiegel, Nathan Spivak, Sam Tanzer, Helen Tarotz, and Joseph William. If you are mourning or commemorating a yahrzeit, or your custom is to rise for the mourner's kaddish, please do so. If you are home and you would like to add a name in the chat, please do so. Kaddish Yatom, mourner's kaddish, page 48. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותה וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, על כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. You may be seated. In a moment we will conclude our service. Just a couple of announcements. The most important I want to make to this crowd is that in 2 weeks, 2 Fridays from today, we're having our first Shabbat Nariya in person. So we're going to have Shabbat Nariya in person, Kabbalat Shabbat. We are going to follow the same guidelines that we are following now. We are going to have registration to make sure that we stay on the numbers that we're allowed, which is 180. I don't know if we'll fill it, but we want to make sure that we don't go over. So an email will go out this week where you'll be able to sign yourself up to make sure that you can come. We will ask people to register. Walk-ins will be accepted if the registration wasn't full. So that's how it's going to work. So that's in 2 weeks. We're very excited. I am so excited. So that's Shabbat Nariya in 2 weeks. Tomorrow is Shabbat Bar Mitzvah of Aiden Margalit. Excuse me. We're very excited to celebrate with him. Torah study at 9 a.m. Downstairs only, in person only, but Shabbat services are both online and in person with the bar mitzvah of Aiden. And there is a lot going on, and I am not going to read everything that is going on. The one thing I'm going to announce is October 27 at 7 p.m., the mayoral, how do you pronounce it?
Mayoral.
That's too hard for me. Mayoral Assembly from GBIO that we hope you join us. Sorry. I got something stuck. Yeah, I have water there. It's a second. In one more second. And the other thing, I'll ask you to do Kiddush. So.
Yeah.
And the other thing is on November 1st at night at 8 p.m., we have a Zoom meeting for all those who are interested in our multi-narrative trip to Israel. So if you are curious about this trip that we're doing in February, hopefully to Israel and the West Bank and Palestine, please join us for the multi-narrative, for the Zoom meeting at 8 p.m. on November 1st. Kiddush, I'll let him do, I'll drink some water.
All right, so if you have your Kiddush cup at home, you can raise it up. You can stand or sit. Savrei Chaverai. Oh, we can do better than that. Savrei Chaverai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho belav ratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikraei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta im kol amim v'shavat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim, l'chaim.
L'chaim. We're going to conclude our service with a nigun, a shalom, all together. Those who are here, I invite you to come outside to shmuz. There are little snacks there that you could have, and we can shmuz a little bit outside and light oneg. And for those of you at home, we wish you Shabbat Shalom to all of you. And let's all have a great Shabbos. Oseh Shalom Imramav.
Shalom aleinu
ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Hey, la 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 la.
Shabbat Shalom! Shabbat Shalom! Good Shabbos!